to do. I think I think we're just gonna have to deal with a laggy stream because I think my internet is being affected by the weather outside.
That is
Welcome.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I think my connection's being affected by the lightning storm. So I think we might just have to deal with lag if it gets worse again. Uh, Let me know if anything goes bad. And we go okay. So anyway, let's get back to Fate Extra. So in this, uh, I'm gonna do my best to explain. Basically, shenanigans happens on the moon, and the moon cell be all like, I don't know if we should have this guy around. He seems difficult to get a handle on. So they banish
Hmm.
him into the far side of the moon where all the junk data goes.
He is banned.
He's banned. He's banned from being in the Grail War.
He is in the
Banned.
spam folder.
Yep. Spam folder for him. Yeah, I think my stuff is gonna go bad. Uh so yeah, spam folder for him. Uh but then one day some brain dead kid wanders into a spam folder and he's all like, huh, I don't know if I like this. And he tries to kill her. Or him. Like this is a whole like little extra thingy that was Azure, are you still alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm
I
getting a picture of the stupid kid. Look at these two idiots.
these idiots. So these idiots wander into his spam folder while the basically while there's a patch update going on in the moon cell. So it keeps resetting. So he's like, "Why the
The
fuck can I
reboot.
not kill you?"
It's in a reboot cycle.
Yeah, it's in a reboot cycle. He's like, "Why the fuck can't I kill you?" And he becomes intrigued. And he's like, I'm intrigued. And then the events of Fate Extra CCC starts happening. Uh, for some reason, Hakano Kishinami does not know who Gilgamesh is, despite having an immense dispensary of how many. Like, basically, Hakano is a nerd. It's weird that they know so much about things like Kukulin, even though they didn't go to the library that one week. Interesting. Uh, Welcome, gamer boy. 69, 69, 69, 69, 69.
And you're banned.
Yep, you're banned. You're Chronos. They get a timeout.
I put them in timeout.
Timeout for them. Timeout.
Do not. Do not actually put them in timeout.
It's gone now. So, so this guy, he gets intrigued by Hakuno. Shenanigans happen. Uh, BB be all like, now. And Gilgamesh be like, yes. And she's like, F you, I'm gonna destroy everything. And then Gilgamesh is like, F you more. You're on a mission to make people hydrate? Well, I just for you know, it's hard to make me hydrate, but you're all lucky. Tonight I actually managed to fill my water bottle before the stream. So
Oh, jeez.
Oh yes, I took a drink. Sorry you can't see it because I'm a mongrel. and I don't have the power of hands. But anyway, I took the drink. You're welcome. You also got timed out by my mod. Thank you. I give my mods way too much power. But yes, Mongrel. Uh so basically moon cell stuff happens and then we move on to Extella. Apparently, even though Hakuno's like, who the fuck is this man? But this man knows who the fuck they are.
Hmm.
Gilgamesh is like, if we're going on for that Aragorn fallen in love with the useless master. Um, if we're going on of how many masters Gilgamesh has had over this series, Hakuno is up there as one of the people he cares about. It is interesting. It's interesting that he would come to care about someone who's not Enkidu. Uh, Not to say that he's an asshole to other masters he has. Well, except for the one thing where he
He is.
encouraged murder. But
I mean, he kind of is
mhm.
an asshole to his masters.
He
Even
is.
even to Hakuno, he just grew out of it.
He just grew out of it. Well, I think it's not that he grew out of it. It's more of Hakuno after like a few things where they thought for sure Gilgamesh was going to kill them and he didn't kill them. They just realized they figured out how to handle him. And basically, how you handle Gilgamesh is you don't give in to his demands. Basically, it's like, I'll kill you if you don't give me that. No. Well, fine. I'll be back later then.
This is where the Dom comes in.
Basically.
And you said that this character wasn't a top.
Fine. 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 I'll accept it. Are you happy now, Azure? Are you happy? I've accepted
Would
that
it make
that
you mad? Would it make you mad if I said I was?
No. No, it wouldn't.
Yes, I am happy now.
He's happy now. We have strong affinities to the Hawknose, so
Yes, for reasons.
for reasons. They're kind of like how we got into the Fate franchise.
I mean, it
So
literally was for me because
yeah,
Fate Extra was how I got into it.
I mean I got into it through Kata no Kyokai, but anyway, uh,
Fate Extra was just the fish hooks that like ensnared you.
yeah, pretty much.
Here no Kyokai was the bait.
Yes, Kara no Kyokai was the bait because I was like, oh, wait, these were the same people who did Fate Stay Night. Maybe I should check out some of this Fate stuff after all because that actually wasn't so bad. Because the reason I wasn't watching Fate
The Venus
was
flytrap.
was because everybody else was watching it and I didn't want to watch it because everybody else said it was good and I didn't believe them.
And they were, and you know what? They were wrong. It wasn't good.
You're right. They were wrong. It isn't good. It's terrible.
Mhm.
Why have I
But
let this
because,
thing
but
consume
because,
my life?
but because you go in with low, but if you go in with low expectations, you can't be disappointed.
It's true. That's why I don't.
Or in the case of Fate Extra, you get pleasantly surprised.
You get pretty surprised. Pretty good series. I hope everybody checks out the remaster when it comes out. I think it was delayed because of COVID,
Hmm?
but
Checks out what?
what? Oh,
Get
Fate
out there.
Extra Record. That's the name for it, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
When it comes out in 2025, when the PS5 is finally available for purchase.
They're making a Steam version. Don't worry, Azure.
Mm.
There's gonna be a Steam version. Alright, anyway, so let's get on to the next series that Gilgamesh shows up in. And then I guess I can talk about relationship. Anyway, so the next series that Gilgamesh shows up is called Fate Strange Fake. In that, he is the fake archer for. He's become a faker after all this time of him complaining about fakers. Uh,
You either die the king of heroes, or you'll live long enough to see yourself become the faker.
Pretty much. And if you understand fake archer, what does that mean? Well, in the wars in America, it's called the Wars of uh they're called the Fake and True Grail Wars. Uh, so basically, it's like a weird battle royale style thing where there's fake servants and true servants. So basically, there's like a mini baby fight where fake servants are fighting each other, and then eventually, when enough of
No
them
actual babies
dies,
are involved.
yeah,
No actual babies are involved.
no actual babies are involved, and then eventually the real Grail War will start.
It's
If
like the
there's
pre-show.
yeah, it's like a pre-show. Basically though, if a fake servant survives long enough, supposedly they can compete in the real Grail War. Of course,
It can become a real
they
boy.
can become a real boy. Although honestly, from the looks of things, it seems like this one has gone off the rail, and not that many fake servants have died before the true
Oh,
Grail
oh,
War
so
got kicked off.
oh,
So,
are you saying there's a Grail War that goes off the rails? What are the chances
what are
of
the
that?
chances of that happening in America, of all places, right?
Written by the same guy who wrote Baccano,
Yep.
which
Uh,
is why it takes place in America.
he they really do their research at America, and so anyway. His master here is Tyne. She is hmm. I
She's
don't
like
want to.
Hakano, but she has brown skin.
Yeah, she's like Hakano, but she's a Native American. Anyway,
Is she really?
yes,
I didn't know
Tyne
that.
is half Native American, from what I understand. Basically, she wants revenge on the white man and
Hmm.
wants her land back, or something like that. Or I think it's like the
So
grail.
she's gonna team up with a proto-European.
Yeah, something like that. From what I understand, I think it was Tyne's family or something who owned where the Grail War is taking place. Um,
Is this like
and
does
basically
this
they were.
take place in like modern day, or is it like a few? Is like in the past, like
Oh, it
before
takes
the
place a
2000s?
couple years after Stay
What was
Night,
that?
I believe. After
You
the
cut out
Grail
there. What'd
War
you
was
say?
dismantled in
Okay.
Japan. That's why Gilgamesh could be summoned
So
again, because he was defeated in Stay Night. So, whatever route happened, we don't know. We just know,
American Holy Grail Idol.
yeah. But, so, it's like, and you're like, why is he letting himself get dragged around by a lolly? Well, for one, because it's hilarious, because he killed a lolly the last Grail War he was in. Uh, Two, because Gilgamesh actually gets along with kids. Uh, they're smaller
I,
mongrels, so he likes them.
they're like puppies.
Yep, they're like puppies.
hmm Ilya doesn't count because she was not a kid,
Yeah,
and I think he knew that.
he knew that she wasn't a kid, but she was a homunculus, so that's why he went easy on her. And when I say went easy, he decided to make her death swift and as painless as possible.
You know,
Hmm.
um, after slashing her eyes out,
Yeah, so she didn't have to
real
see.
pain, real painless.
So she didn't have to see Berserker get beaten up because she didn't want to believe it. So, uh, basically Gilgamesh was trying to be a nice guy. It's complicated. He's a god. We don't understand his reasons for things.
Mhm.
Anyway, so basically the fact that also Enkidu is around is also the reason why he's not planning to kill his master anytime soon. But I think his goals with Tyne is to get her to act like a kid, from what I understand, because she's acting like a trying to be a tiny adult from my understanding. So, yeah, that's his relationship with time. She's like,
I mean, I've got the proof of that right here.
yeah,
So yeah, he literally is.
yeah. So he's trying to get her to be acting like a kid. Basically, Gilgamesh is all right underneath for a lot. Like Hakuno, if like we rate the master, Hakuno is his favorite because he's got a lot to work with and
Mhm.
he's trying to teach them. Oh,
Isn't it heavily implied that Hakuno's original servant was Enkidu?
it is somewhat heavily implied in the sense that their original servant before Gilgamesh was a berserker, if Enkidu is summoned normally, it's believed that he would have been in the berserker class. Um, Secondly, it's because Hakuno has a dream about Gilgamesh's past, but it was not from his perspective. It was from Enkidu's perspective, and also Hakuno was able to talk to them directly, which doesn't make any sense unless that was an actual memory from that they experienced. So it's most likely that Enkidu was their servant. Also, Hakuno and Enkidu are also really similar in the fact that they're redacted. Anyway, so I don't want to spoil it. Why we're gonna play the game? I mean, I don't want to spoil it until we talk about Extraverse. So you're gonna have to wait for that for the Hakuno episode if you don't know already.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So basically, so yeah, Hakuno is fun because they don't give in to his demands, and he wants them to enjoy humanity for the sake because Hakuno is an amnesiac, so they don't know nothing about nothing for the most part. So he's like, "Have fun, damn you!"
Or else.
Pretty much. So Tyne, I would say, is probably second on the list for being a child, and he wants her to act like a child. Blah blah blah. So then it's Kotamine. So this is where we get, yeah, it's alright. Absorb away. You don't have to talk. So next it would be Kotamine, because
Hmm.
this is indifferent level. Because it's not that Gilgamesh really likes Kotamine per se. It's he liked that this person was trying to deny his basic instincts, and he just wanted to, because Gilgamesh wants people to accept themselves for what they are. Mostly that's an ongoing theme, as you've seen, between his masters. uh
Hmm. Unfortunately, it just happened to be with one of the most possibly toxic people in the Fate
yeah,
franchise.
although, and I'm like, pretty much. So they're indifferent. They have their goals align. They get along for the most part. But Gilgamesh kind of fucks off in Stay Night for the most part, and he doesn't really like seem to care too much when
Mhm.
Kotamine gets off, and the same is vice versa. Uh,
Well, I mean, when he gets,
it is interesting in the extraverse where Kotomine is there. Uh, he doesn't want Hakuno anywhere near them. So that may be a true of how Gilgamesh really feels about Kotomine. It doesn't seem like he really likes people who are
you
inherently
gotta
evil.
you
So
gotta think about it. Like in Unlimited Blade Works, he was ready to wipe out humanity.
yeah,
Um, so I can't imagine he cared about Kirei at all at
yeah,
that point.
pretty
And I
much.
mean, in Fate, like he seemed more interested in Saber.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it makes total like it's like you were interesting for a time, but like you've outlived your entertainment value.
Yeah, he basically is. It's about how entertaining the person can be to him, which is
And
why,
that's why they have to kill him off in Heaven's Field, because then they would have two antagonists.
yeah, and which is that is why bottom of the list is Rin's dad, who doesn't even get. We don't even mention his name.
Absolute asshole.
Asshole. He's already true to himself in his full assholery, and Gilgamesh is like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
You gave your daughter up to a worm, man. Nah. You're dumb. I hate your face. You and your goatee. But yeah, that's more or less Gilgamesh's relationship with his masters in a nutshell. And you're like, well, what about the Fate Go protagonist? What about the Fate Go protagonist?
The Banko protagonist is a perfect omniscient being who has the perfect relationship with every single one of his servants.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm. Things are
What else is
perfect
there
in
to
perfect
say?
land. Except for when it's not perfect in perfect land.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, really, all the Fate Go protagonist really cares about is Mosh. So it doesn't really matter too much
Mm.
about their relationships with other servants.
I mean, you could probably talk a little bit about the Babylonia
I mean, yes,
anime,
we can talk about Yahoo, welcome. I mean, we
where
can
he
talk about the
literally.
Babylonia arc a bit. Gilgamesh,
Mhm.
who the man who's still alive in
in his in,
Babylonia times, the man, the myth, the legend, who as
mhm.
caster form. Let's get caster form Gilgamesh up in here.
Yes,
Bada
yes,
bing,
yes.
bada boom. Basically, as we call him, Old Man Gilgamesh. This is the most reasonable of Gilgameshes that you will find because he's about 100 or so years old at this point. 100, 200, I don't know. Gods are weird. So this is Old Man Gilgamesh. And you're like, he doesn't look that old. Trust me, he's old here. Trust me.
And here's his summer alt.
He's got to show
Yeah,
those abs.
look how old he
He's
is.
so old, guys. So old. So old. Anyway, what are you talking about? He's hot. Yes, he is hot, but he's also very old. And that's which makes him why he's the most reasonable of the Gilgameshes to work with. Basically, he's become a workaholic in his old age. Uh he doesn't stop for rest. In fact, in the Babylonia arc, he dies from overworking himself. It's okay, he got better, but he got better only to die again later in the arc in the most
Mhm.
grand, awesome way to become his archer
Yes, like
self.
that was a very good death.
It was a very good death.
Mhm. It's like yeah, I'm dying, but it's only so I can create a catalyst to summon myself as a servant.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Oh, this man. Oh, what are we doing with him?
Hmm. Remember, self-care is important.
Rest. Remember, guys, don't work yourself to death like Gilgamesh.
Like if you ever feel like you work yourself too hard, don't forget that Gilgamesh is just as flawed as you are in that capacity.
Mm-hmm. Oh. But yeah, Gilgamesh. Let's see. What are the important parts of this arc? Well, he has a handmaiden, I guess she is.
Tsururi,
Yeah,
as
Siduri.
we can see in the in the more cartoonish art there.
Mm-hmm. She's his assistant.
Hmm.
She is not a harem lady. That we don't get to see any of those. But Gilgamesh has a harem. I just thought you should all know.
She's basically his secretary.
Yep, she's his secretary. Unfortunately, she meets with
A horrific end.
a horrific. Oh my god, it was terrible, guys. It was
Fucked
horrible.
up. Even
Oh,
by fate
reading that
standards, it was
was
fucked up.
fucked. Oh, she meets terrible, terrible end.
Hmm.
Um,
It's one of those things where you realize what happened too late.
yep. The other thing that was going on was Kingu, who was possessing Enkidu's body.
Hmm.
Gilgamesh actually wasn't really mad at Kingu, more so uh, big ass titty mommy over there for titty mommy with a face in the boobs. Uh, God, it was horrible. Anyway,
Wait, did you say Kingu or Pingu?
Kingu.
Right, sorry, I need to get a different picture. Apparently, there's a Kingu enemy in Megami Tensei.
Probably. Megami Tensei has a lot of weird stuff.
That does not look like Enkidu.
Hmm. No, guess not. But anyway, so basically, I guess from what I understanding, I think Kingu has a lot of residual feelings from Enkidu left in there, which is why he can't bring himself to actually kill off Gilgamesh, from my
Hmm.
understanding. Look, it's been a while since I read this arc, so sorry if my memories are a bit dumb. But basically, Gilgamesh being a more mature man that he is, not being mad at, because trust me, Archer version of himself would have been pissed. Would have been way more pissed. The
Hmm.
younger version of himself. Uh,
It's like fuck all that. I'm gonna handle this by myself right now.
mm-hmm. So so he basically he's very nice to Kingu in his last moments before we murder him, because he needs to go.
Hmm.
He needs to go.
Yeah,
We
he needs
got
to
bigger
go.
fish to fry. In fact, it was a literal bigger fish. I have no better way to
It
describe.
was literally in the water, and
She
it
was
was huge.
literally in the water, and then she wasn't
Hmm.
in the water, and then it was horrible, and I don't
And then
want to
she was even
remember this fight.
bigger.
It was terrible. I hated
Hmm.
it. I don't know. Gilgamesh sounds a lot like Ganondorf in my health. Both still hot, by the way.
Ganondorf or Gandalf? Because those are two very different
I think he
characters.
said Ganondorf
Why Ganondorf?
because he's hot.
No, he's not. He's a pig man.
No, 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 not Ganon. Ganondorf from Ocarina of Time.
He's not I wouldn't call him attractive.
Some people may be attracted to him, so leave those people alone. Sure, I'm not, but
It's like I'm just like I know what he looks like in Smash Brothers.
yeah.
I wouldn't call that attractive.
Mm.
It's like why would you go for Ganondorf when you can have Fox? I'm joking. I'm joking. Or
uh,
the sex or the master or the
although
sex master
there
who's
are
the
some
sex
really
the,
interesting fan arts of Ganondorf, super hot Ganondorf. I've seen them. Oh baby.
I'm sorry, but he looks like the ugly bastard hentai tag.
Maybe. Bitch, I might be. And that is. But yeah, in the end of that, Gilgamesh kills himself, becomes his archer self, and helps us kill a primal
Mhm.
god. Uh, and then he comes back at the end, like all the other servants, to beat up Solomon's body. And that was that. Uh, what else do I have to talk about? I feel like there's more, but I'm starting to go brain dead because this has been a very interesting stream. Because we had to cut it in half because because things went out because of
Yes.
thunder.
He actually has a very like in that fight in the game he has a unique sprite.
Yeah. TMF, her face is in her boobs. Her face is in her boobs. Why?
It's I can't help but wonder if this does anything for the Vor people.
Maybe. Why would they do this? Why would they do this? Why would they do this? Why?
There is someone at Tight Moon who has a giantessness
Oh, of course
fetish.
they have a giantess fetish. We've got like several of them. I
Hmm.
bet it's Natsu. I bet it's fucking
Maybe,
Natsu because he soloed this arc, I believe, writing this arc.
maybe.
I bet it's fucking Natsu. He wanted Titan Altera to have big boobies, you know. But Arco was like, no, stop it. We are not putting big boobies on the giantess.
She bonks him. She bonks him
Bonks
with
him,
like a
go to horny
bat.
jail.
Go to horny jail.
I don't know, although I don't know if Arco should be in charge of putting people in horny jail or not, because she's clearly thirsty herself.
And even if she's not, she's definitely contributing to the thirst with her drawings.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, yes she is. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
We need to do like a whole episode on her alone. We could probably do an episode on her.
Yeah, we should definitely do an episode on her. She is like one of the she is in the top tier of artists for like we were talking about this with Prince in one of
Hmm.
first things about how Arco is probably high up on the pecking order of artists in the Type Moon cast. I mean, if one day we get a Hololive person with Arco's art style, I wouldn't be
Oh
surprised
God.
because
Oh
she
God.
already made one with Rin. So if they get in contact with her at some point,
That character would have the best chest.
yes, that character would indeed have the best chest. But you're
It's like it doesn't matter if you're big or flat anymore. The fact of the matter is you don't have the best chest because you're not designed by Arcawano.
yep. But that's like I mean, I don't know if they could do it because I think Arco is super busy being one of the main artists at
Hmm.
Type Moon. But well, although she does just do.
She's also super busy doing all that fan art for Grand Order.
Oh yeah, she puts out Grand Order art books almost
Hmm.
periodically.
Which I guess it's probably that's also part of her job.
Yeah.
And I'm not like criticizing for that. I'm like, no, by all means, please give us more of the content that we like you for.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, I just think that her working on Type Moon stuff might be just why I haven't seen her like do anything else
Mm. Although I
that I'm
have seen her
aware of.
do art. I've seen her do artwork of Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm. Yeah, she updates her Twitter every so often. But I'm just saying, if she made a Hololive baby, dude, she'd start making art books for Hololive. She would. She'd totally do it.
that is a slippery slope.
Hmm.
Oh, does that mean that she would have to be on stream as an art mama?
Probably.
It's like what is this Minecraft you kids are playing?
But anyway, you heard it from me here. Arco Wada has had history in making a VTuber. So it's not
Yep.
out of the realm of possibility that she could be the art mama for one of the Hololive girls in the future. Just saying. Just to throw that out there into the void. Because you know, if you speak it, it could come true. So
Yes.
I just want to see a Hololive VTuber that's better rigged with Arco's work, okay? Because Rin and Tamamo are not rigged well. I'm just saying. They do not move well. And I don't know if that's the Arco's art thing or if it's just the rigger. Because it could be either. But you don't know. You don't know. Am I eating on stream? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm gonna go hungry. I go hungry. But yeah, Gilgamesh. Uh, so we talked about his relationship with his masters. We talked about his parts
I
in
think
a
we've
lot of
covered
his.
everything.
I think we covered everything now, and this means we've come to the end of covering the Stay Night for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically we've talked about all the other characters within the things, and they're like, well, we didn't have an episode on Kirei. Uh, we talked about Kirei multiple times within other people's things, and I think
We talked about him a lot during the Shiro
yeah,
video.
we talked about him a lot during the Shiro video. We talked about him a couple times in the Rin video. We talked about him in Sagas. We talked
We
about him
talked about him tonight.
tonight. I think you all get the message of what he's like. So it's
Maybe
pretty
for
much
April Fools, maybe for April Fools we'll do a Kira video.
yeah, maybe maybe
When is his birth? When is his birthday?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll do like a Kira birthday stream.
Yeah, we
But
feel
instead of
bad we
talk,
didn't give you your own episode, so here it is.
but instead of talking about Kira, it'll just be the entire. We'll just spend the entire time insulting him in a Kira voice, insulting the audience in a Kira voice.
Yorokobe.
Rejoice!
Rejoice!
Why are you not
Mortals.
rejoicing?
Yes,
There should be
rejoice.
rejoicing going on in here. There's a significant lack of rejoicing, and it is bothering me.
Here, the YouTuber when. But yeah. So this is the end of the Stay Night coverage. From here on out, the world is our oyster. Who knows what we may talk about next?
Yeah.
Because we've been let loose from the ground zero of this series, and now I can pick from whatever the fuck I feel like whenever I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, because I don't really feel like doing this for any other series, because honestly, most of the information nowadays comes from Grand Order, because
Yep.
that's what's constantly updating.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like y'all have internet access. You get on the Techmoon wiki. Look it up yourself. Although
no.
that would put us out of a job.
Look. We're not reading off the wiki when we're doing this for the most part. So I think we're giving you
Mm-hmm.
guys a very good interpretation of our experiences going through the other stuff. Metroid, maybe?
That's right, baby.
I don't know. I
That's
hear Samus is fighting GLaDOS these days. So
oh Lord.
I mean, that's what
It's
those.
it's funny because we were talking about those Omega Mart commercials before the stream began. Someone in the comments said, "This feels like Aperture Science created like their own supermarket, and this is the kind of stuff that they would sell."
Pretty much. Warning. Side effects include. Da 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 da. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us for the stream for as long as you could. Um,
We-
I'm glad. I'm glad you all enjoyed ogling Gilgamesh for several slides, because he's shirtless quite often, as you can see.
Mhm. He's like the Hiei of fate.
Pretty much. Except he loses his pants too. Hot. that you're right. He is hot. He's literally on fire sometimes.
Yes.
This guy is on fire. Although I will say I was a Kurama kid growing up. I wondered why, but I think it was because all the roses that was happening on screen whenever he was there, and I think I mistook that for
Okay.
for
Like,
attraction.
do you want to know the character that I crushed on from Yu Yu Hakusho?
Who? Was it
It
Botan?
was it More days I do now with her,
Mhm.
but back when I was a kid and watching that, it was the Cat Girl tournament announcer.
Well, who wouldn't like the cat girl tournament announcer? She's a cat girl and a tournament announcer, and she's hilarious.
I know. Like,
And it's great that she passed on her job to her inferior, and
her mermaid.
she got to go into the desk job position.
Yeah. It's like what? From the end of the tournament arc, it's like we need to find you a man.
Uh,
She comes back for the Three Kings tournament at the end of the show. Although that is very brief. That's not even a full story arc.
that is not a story arc. Well, I think it's because I think at that point the anime went off with its own plot because I read
Well,
the
I mean,
manga. The
Yogashiro had basically like given up on Yu Yu Hakusho
Yeah,
because of bullcrap at Shonen Jump,
yeah,
which is something that a lot of mangaka who work for Shonen Jump seem to deal with.
yeah. I really think Shonen Jump needs to stop interfering with their uh people because I think that's what causes a lot of rot to happen with
Hmm.
their stuff. Like basically not letting them like end it when they want to causes issues. I think that's why Naruto ran into rot because why it repeats. If you notice itself, it repeats itself quite often
Mm.
for certain like cues and stuff like that.
I
Um,
mean, just because it worked with the Cell Saga of Dragon Ball does not mean it's going to work with every other manga that they put out.
Pretty much.
And even then, like the Boo arc in Dragon Ball was another example of executive meddling,
Mm-hmm.
and that time it did not work out.
Mm-hmm. I gotta go. Remember, Ganon is the ultimate waifu. Oh, you and your pig
I do
waifus.
not want to look at your internet history.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Have a good night. We're about to.
Good night.
We've been trying to wrap this up, but we're
Yes.
getting sidetracked with Shonen Jump.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, is
And waifus.
stop interfering with the art, Shonen Jump. You're the
Mm-hmm.
reason that this madman keeps making One Piece, and he needs to be stopped.
I Let's be honest. I think at this point, Ichiro Oda is like he cannot be stopped. It's like he was like a monster that Shonen Jump lost control of.
Please,
Although,
someone stop him! I'm begging you.
to be fair, it looks like it's not like he's not being like hit with executive meddling.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a story that he wants to tell, and he wants to go into excruciating detail about the world building for every single little bit.
I mean, like that's a problem in itself. I mean, yeah, I guess it's great that he is like the one content creator who's not being forced by the hand.
But that's because like he's still constantly working. Like they don't
Right.
need to
Yeah.
lead him along.
Have you taken a look at his work schedule? The
Oh
fuck?
God, no,
It's like,
no, no.
don't look at it. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, dude, please.
Mm.
I want you to finish the manga. I don't want you to die working.
Ugh. Rumiko's work schedule isn't as bad, but she has like a whole thing where they're like, Rumiko, wait a minute. In this schedule, where's sleep? Rumiko. Rumiko!
Oh,
When
whoops.
do you go to sleep?
You don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
I
we've been
mean, that
evolving. We've
woman
been
could
evolving for
retire already.
10,000. We've been evolving for 10,000 years. We don't need sleep anymore.
Yeah.
What coffee's for?
That woman could be retired already with how many, like, series that she's pulled off that have been hit after hit. I hear Mao's doing pretty good too. So she could retire. Woman. At least I hope she retires after this one because I
Plot
don't.
for plot for an isekai. Mangaka overworks himself to death and is reincarnated into the world he created.
Yeah, that probably exists.
Original story idea, do not steal.
Oh, all right. We got off topic. Sorry there, chat. Have a good night. So Azure has decided he's going to wander off into the abyss.
Yes,
So
how dare my mother have a birthday tomorrow?
yeah, how dare his mother require his presence in the abyss? I hear they have great parties down there, though. So, enjoy that party.
It
And
helps
he
that she's
won't
a
be
good cook.
so he won't be here tomorrow. He won't be here
Yes.
tomorrow.
No Star Wars.
If I do stream, I will be solo. I will be Han Solo. I'm sorry, that joke didn't land.
Fucking
Anyway.
Star Wars Connect, man. I I've seen some things. I've seen some things.
But if the keyword is if I do stream, because it turns out I too have a kind of birthday party to go to. I think it's a birthday party. I'm not sure. I don't know when my cousins were born. I thought he was born in December.
Schrodinger's birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
It exists, yet it does not.
Yeah. So I also have a party to go to that's Star Trek 3. So I don't know when it ends. If it actually ends, who knows? I mean, I'll probably get sick of it in a few hours. I'll probably eat food and then I'll go. That sounds bad, but you know, when you're around family. Especially when I'm around family that wants me to participate in, you know, interacting and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm an introvert. I'm not good being in public spaces for too long without getting agitated. But anyway, good night, everybody.
Yes, farewell for now.
Bye bye.
Bye.